Hey guys, welcome to You and Rusty. Now, you know that I have made a couple of videos on this channel that talk about my morning routine, and some of you messaged me on Instagram, and the question that you asked was really fascinating to me because this is something that I have gone through a lot in my life. The question was, Vedant, how do we fix our sleep schedule? How do I wake up early in the morning? How do I go to bed on time at night? And I actually wondered about it. And for all of you guys who had this question, I'm going to try and answer it as honestly as I can. And I'm going to suggest ways that have worked for me because I have got a very stable morning routine. These days it's winter, so I wake up around 7:38. I get up, I get my coffee, I work, go to the gym, come back, take a shower, and then work again. So it took me a long time to build this routine. And of course, there have been days where I have messed up, where I wake up late. So it's all about the mindset. It's all about planning yourself. It's about building a schedule. And I'm going to teach you how to do it for yourself. And let's begin. So the number one mistake that people make when they are trying to build a sleep routine or fix their sleep schedule is that they try to either wake up really early. For example, they'll try and wake up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. And you'll be able to do that for a couple of days, but your body, because it's not used to waking up at that hour, and because your natural biological cycle is not adjusted to those routines, you are bound to fail regardless. So what is the best way to fix your sleeping schedule? Now you have to acknowledge that you have a sleeping schedule problem, because it's happened with me. I am just lying in bed, I go to bed, I try and sleep, but I have my phone, I keep mindlessly scrolling, and I don't realize when it's 3 in the morning, and I go sleep by 3:30, I wake up at 10, 11. This has happened with all of us. This will continue to happen with a lot of people. So what is the solution? There are three basic things that we have to do to fix our sleep schedule. One is that we have to figure out a time that is ideal for us to wake up in the morning. It can be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, don't go beyond 9, otherwise you'll lose the morning. I think the ideal time to wake up is at 7 in the morning. I know a lot of people talk about waking up at 4 in the morning because that gives you an extra few hours before the world is awake. I don't agree to that philosophy because it puts an added pressure on yourself, because if you decide that I want to wake up at 4 and then you wake up at 4:30, you're still going to feel bad that you wasted half an hour. So pick a time that you can comfortably wake up at. And this automatically brings us to the next thing, that you have to sleep early at night. I know this is the most difficult thing, but there are ways that we will talk about. But most importantly, you have to figure out a time that you wake up at in the morning. The best way to fix your sleep schedule is that regardless of what happens, you wake up at that time in the morning. So even if you sleep at 3 in the morning, if you've decided I'm going to wake up at 7, you wake up at 7. You set 10 alarms, you place 10 alarm clocks, you tell your mother to put a bucket of water on your face, but just bring you up at 7 in the morning. Do whatever you want, do it for a week, and your body will naturally start to align with that timing. Because if you are waking up at 7 in the morning or whatever time you decide for a consistent amount of time, your body is going to grow tired gradually and you're going to start falling asleep earlier every day. That is solution number one. Now, how do you fall asleep early at night even if you have a lot of work? I mean, of course, there is a lot of planning that goes on into planning your day, into planning your exercise routine. But one of the best ways that I have realized what helps me sleep early is that I go to bed by 10:30 or 11. Regardless of what amount of work I have, I go to bed at 11. Even if I have my phone, I don't use a lot of social media apps on my phone. I think my phone has this feature called a bedtime mode where it shuts down every single notification except my Kindle. So my habit of reading every day before I sleep, I read for about 30 minutes before I sleep because A, it helps me read. I get to read my favorite books for half an hour every day, and if I get to indulge, I read for an hour. But it basically separates me from my social media, from notifications, from messages, and I am just able to engulf myself within the book. Now what that does for me is that it puts me in a nice headspace. It gets my brain a much needed exercise, which is not video editing, which is not planning execution, not the daily mundane task. It gives me a refresher before I fall asleep, but it's not so refreshing that my sleep goes away unless I'm reading a very interesting fiction novel where I am just wanting to know what happens in the next chapter. But that's a slightly extreme use case. So this is a habit that has worked for me. For what you can do is that you can keep your phone apart entirely. Now I read on my Kindle or my phone, so I have embraced a digital life. You can read a physical book. You can sit down and write a journal. You can do 100 different things. You can keep your phone aside, sit with your family for half an hour and then go to bed. I know it's going to be difficult to build that routine to fall asleep earlier if that's not something that you usually do, but acknowledge the fact that you want to sleep early, that you want to sleep by 11, by 12. If you have to wake up at 7, I think you should fall asleep by 12, because I think 6 to 7 hours of sleep is what you require the most. Now, I don't have to tell you what happens when you don't get enough sleep. Your body gets tired, you get agitated, you're not operating at your full potential. So it's important to fall asleep at time and get the adequate amount of sleep. Now, waking up early and sleeping on time are the two most important things, but there are things that you can do throughout your day that can help you fall asleep on time. A, healthy diet. B, drink a lot of water. C, exercise for at least half an hour. Now, when I say exercise, I don't mean that you have to go to the gym and work out for hours. You can simply just spend the time walking inside your home and finishing your number of steps. For example, my father has an incredible habit. He doesn't go out because of COVID. He wasn't going out. He wasn't going on his morning walks. He used to go and either walk on the terrace, or he used to, during the winters when it's extremely cold outside, he used to just keep pacing around the room till he completed his steps. So that is one way where you can basically finish your required number of steps, or you can get a skipping rope. They come in fairly cheap, and skipping is a really wonderful exercise. You have to tire your body in ways that are actually healthy. I mean, you can tire yourself sitting on your laptop, you can tire yourself working all day, but exercising is a much better way to tire yourself because it puts your body in a routine where you want to fall asleep early. And I think, yeah, that's about it. These are the few tips that I had which have helped me build my sleeping schedule. I think this might be helpful to you. If you have any other tips, that please leave them down in the comments so that other people can read and get some ideas. I hope this video helps you. We come up with a new video on this channel every week, so make sure you subscribe. We talk about productivity, lifestyle. You can check out the other videos if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.